All right, so Lolade, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I read the opening part of your article,
Yep.
which reads, as at the end of August, the Central Bank of Nigeria had financed the federal government to the tune of 4.4 trillion naira, according to official data. The Apex Bank continues to act as a piggy bank to a struggling sovereign, while turning a blind eye to economic consequence. Now, here's the thing. I'm not against helping, right? I'm not against helping. If we have a revenue shortfall, if we have a liquidity squeezes, I don't mind. 4.4 trillion is another issue altogether. Yeah.
It's against the law, really, because the law is clear. The central bank can only extend 5% of revenue to the government in overdrafts. So the federal government's revenue last year was about 3.8 trillion. 5% of that would be 190 billion naira. So
But we
look at
have
the-
funded
we're funding
4.4 trillion.
4.4 trillion naira.
So who are we calling? Who should we be sitting down to ask questions? First of all, I think Gordon MFLN needs to answer questions right now.
Yeah.
And first of all, I need to let you know, I'm giving you, he didn't like your article.
Of course. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
for
So,
sure.
so let me let you know.
Yeah.
Just in case you did not know.
Yeah.
He did not like your article.
Yeah.
And of course it's beginning to make a lot of people ask questions. And where, so there are too many things. There are too many issues. So I don't even want to start from. So City of Lagos, we've talked about over and over about the issues of revenue in Nigeria. Revenue is dwindling. Last year, this year, we've not been able to meet our revenue expectations, and we've borrowed heavily. And still we've gone to still collect another 4.4 trillion naira. What's going on? That's what I want to know.
He needs to answer that, Godwin Emefiele, really, and the federal government, because 4.4 trillion. You ask yourself, that's a lot of money borrowed by the federal government. Where has it gone to? So I can't say, I can't say specifically, but from what we have, the public data that's available tells you something. If you look at the budget, the way the budget is structured, you get a sense that most of that borrowing is being put into recurrent expenditure.
Obviously, because that's the line item that doesn't fail with the government.
Yes, now it's not just salaries and overhead costs, but also debt servicing costs. So I wouldn't even be surprised if the federal government is having to tap the central bank to even pay debt service, to service its debt taken from foreign and local investors. And that's ridiculous, really.
So
for a country the size of Nigeria and with the type of infrastructural deficit we have, you'd expect that borrowing is not bad. Like Tunji rightly said, it's not bad. People borrow. The federal and the United States government, I think their debt to GDP is over 100%. So people borrow, but the question is, what do you do with the money?
You borrow.
Yeah. So you're not spending enough money on capital expenditure. You're just taking money and you're paying back debt and then paying salaries.
So first of all, there is the angle of fiscal responsibility from the federal government. There is also another issue of independence of the Central Bank of Nigeria, who needs to be accountable to the people, first of all, before even having a relationship with the federal government. There's that angle. The other angle is this 4.4 trillion. What account is it going to? Is it sinking? Is it disappearing? Where's the money going to? Then it brings you to ask the question of City of Lagos. I don't know if you ever saw this. The viral audio of the CBN governor, who was later explained that no, it was not. It was a misunderstanding. But then this kind of discussions bring us back into light and think, okay, can we go? Is there any credence to that discussion anymore? But who stops this? Because is there a third body to hold
rating on this? Man. For me, I don't know. I don't know what the finance minister can do.
That was what I was going to say, because I was going to call. But then again, she is an employee of the
federal government. Yeah.
So
and she's likely to do the bidding of her boss. Really.
So who are we going to call? There's somebody we need to call somebody. I don't know who.
The
CBN was appointed by the federal government.
Yeah, but he's supposed. The CBN is supposed to be independent. Yeah. So the problem is who are we going to call?
Responsible.
This is.
Plus,
Okay.
Catch 22 situation.
The finance minister really needs to exert her influence. Really, she needs to do something. But I don't know. I don't want to say. I don't want to criticize her because I know it's sometimes
She's just
very
new,
difficult
to do
right
some of those things, yeah.
Trust me.
But you know, at this point, it's somebody needs to put their foot down.
Yes.
So pretty much like former CBN governor Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, who came out and said, "Hey, money is missing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But do we have those type of characters in the government?
That's the question. You know, he came out and said, "Hey guys, money is missing.
I don't care whether
I don't know where. I don't know how the money is, but money is missing."
He
was
And everybody
suspended,
was
but he didn't care.
everybody criticized
Yeah.
him. And then we found out, okay, it's not 20 billion, it was 10 billion. And then the new discussion was, can you imagine? So it's not even 20 billion, it's just 10 billion. I'm like, but money is still missing. Are you guys serious? So the question is not whether it's 20 billion or 100 billion, is money is missing. And then,
I think
have we found the money?
the key problem is lack of accountability in governance,
Yeah.
and also the Nigerians not
and lack of
holding
transparency.
and transparency. Nigerians not holding our government to accountable.
You know,
That's
funny
what
enough,
we're trying to
funny
do.
enough,
That's what we're trying to do at
I
business
honestly felt that by Lolade's article, there would be uproar this morning. Like everybody would be like,
Yeah.
"Oh my God!"
Mm-hmm.
Like, because you know it's, and people feel it's only when money is stolen that you shout. This is not about stolen money. This is about misappropriation, because misappropriation is also a crime. It's not
legal.
you get it doesn't it
But
does
how many Nigerians understand it this way? That's the thing.
so you don't
How
have
many
to
people
put the money in your
understand
pocket
this
for
way?
it to be
Exactly.
wrong. You just have to use it for the wrong
something
reason.
Yeah.
And are we even sure the central bank is now having to print naira notes to do that?
Lolade, you know, this is what I didn't want to say, because this was in my head. It was
Because
City of Lagos is right here.
Let's not forget that the CBN's balance sheet is also a very ugly looking document when you think about how much they've had to spend on interest expense, because all these home auctions and all that. I mean, it's quite expensive. What
City
do
of
you
Lagos, if you do not understand what
Help
printing
me.
of money means, I need you to go and watch I don't know the name of the movie, but it was about Idi Amin.
Idi Amin, yeah.
And when he was like, "I need money," and then the central bank governor was like, "I don't have money," he said, "Go and print money."
Yeah.
And he's like,
They want to turn Ugandan money to sheet money.
Yeah.
It actually becomes like toilet tissue.
yeah.
when
So
print
you
much
what
money.
happens is that the amount of currency you have in your country cannot be printed more than your corresponding value
Exactly.
in terms of what you have in maybe FX or whatever it is. So it's that in that way you keep the value of your currency strong. But because you own the currency and nobody is holding you can multiply it. But by
The
multiplying,
economy is in problem.
you actually are reducing and diminishing the value of your holding currency.
Yeah.
So there has been multiple people and multiple suggestions in the past that we do print excess. You get, and you know the CBN has come out to say many times, no, that's not true. But this thing continues to come up again. So where did you get 4.4 trillion from? Because we have one source of revenue. We know where the money is coming from.
And the central bank, I mean, the last annual report they published was
Please let me
2017.
give the microphone closer so that so
Okay.
that
Yeah. So I said the last annual report they published was for 2017.
yeah.
So we've not even seen the 2018 annual report.
Which
These are
of
the- these are the
course
documents
is
that
one of
really
the things
show
that
us
bothers me. And
what is going on in there.
I don't
'Cause we don't know. There isn't enough transparency.
So see, Central Bank of Nigeria tends to, and I know that they have their annals very quickly.
They do.
I know they have the annals very quickly. If there's anything about it, one of the most efficient institutions in Nigeria by far is the Central Bank of Nigeria.
True.
Yeah.
So them releasing 2017 is not because they don't have it,
Yeah.
it's because they don't want to release
Exactly.
it.
I mean, they were the same ones that released the statistical bulletin that contains the overdrafts to the federal government
Sure,
in
yeah.
August 2019.
So-
So if they're not releasing 2018, it's
See,
not
yeah,
because
let
they
me
don't
tell
have
you,
it.
it's
because they don't want to. 'Cause they feel there's some
the
things there they
CBN
want to
is
see.
by far the most efficient.
Yeah.
When I mean by far,
Yeah.
by far the most
And
efficient
for to return
institution.
the governor back second time, I'm sure the guy is so
I'm
efficient.
worried. I'm worried now. I'm worried because it does worry you. 4.4 trillion. That is over 40% of our current budget.
Yes.
2020. What happens in 2021? And if going by release the reports, that means we're not going to get 2019 till maybe
Mm.
2020 or
True,
2022.
true.
You know, and then we'll now be raising eyebrow over what has happened like
And
2 years
forget
ago.
Yeah, and let me
Let's
say
look at the
and let me say
future.
this as well. I mean, what's worse is that you look at 4.4 trillion as at August. It's only going to get worse.
That's the point.
If you look at the 2020 budget, you see that the federal government is expecting to make 8.1 trillion naira
Mhm.
revenue. I mean, we know that. It's
We
not
know
possible. Last year the budget was
Yeah.
you only did
The
eight.
last year budget.
Yeah.
You only
Yeah.
did 7. So if that happens, you're not able to over
Yeah, I want to-
optimistic
I-
revenue target. Then
Yeah.
it means that you're dealing with a bigger
Yeah.
budget, and you're going to have to tap the
See,
central debt
because
sources
let me put this
get
in.
by
Let me put
to
this
survive. And
4 points, right? So Manchester United just lost to Newcastle.
you had to say this.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm
I'm
a
a City
Manchester
fan,
United
actually.
fan.
I'm a City
so
fan. I'm a City
so
fan.
just to Newcastle, then all of a sudden you expect that and then you have the say, oh, they're going to beat Barcelona next week, and everybody's like, yeah, right. Like, how now? How you
Some
didn't beat this?
miracle.
Yeah. So that's the way we, so because first of all, it's two. So our budget expectations is $57 per barrel, and we're doing 1.86 million barrels per day. This is actually the most realistic
Yeah.
barrel production we've had
Mm-hmm.
in maybe say 7-8 years.
Yeah.
It's always 2.1 million barrels, and I don't know where we got that number from. We've never done it before. I don't understand it. It's like
Yeah.
this time we just decided, all right, it's never happened. Let's just stop lying to ourselves. Let's do 1.8.
So this time around, the gray area lies in the other revenues.
Yeah.
So it's not the oil.
It's not
necessarily
oil.
Non-oil. I think oil is about 2.7 trillion or thereabout. The non-oil is 1 point. But the other revenue is 3.7 trillion or thereabout. And if you check the 2018 budget breakdown, other revenue was classified under that: privatization proceeds, sale of JV assets, and all that stuff. Does this government give that sense that the